The Mouratoglou Academy in France. The sun is setting over the pristine clay courts, and one of the most respected coaches in tennis history is watching footage of a 21-year-old from Quezon City. Patrick Mouratoglou, the man who coached Serena Williams to 10 of her 23 Grand Slam titles, the man who has worked with Grigor Dimitrov, Holger Rune, and Simona Halep, the man who has seen greatness up close for over 2 decades, and he can't stop watching. He sees a player who moves with the grace of a dancer and the precision of a surgeon, a player who absorbs power and redirects it with surgical precision, a player who has beaten the world number 2, the world number 8, and the world number 13 in the span of a single week, a player who has become the first Filipino in history to earn a singles seed at a Grand Slam tournament. He sees Alexandra Eala, and he has just sent her a powerful message. Keep shining for your country. The words were simple, but the weight behind them was staggering. Here was a man who had coached the greatest player in tennis history, who had won titles alongside the sport's biggest legends, and he was telling a 21-year-old from the Philippines to keep shining. The tennis world has taken notice. When a legend like Mouratoglou speaks, people listen, and what he's saying about Alexandra Eala is sending shockwaves through the sport. This is the story of that message. This is the story of how a 21-year-old from the Philippines captured the attention of one of the greatest coaches in tennis history. Let's begin. To understand why Patrick Mouratoglou sent such a powerful message to Alexandra Eala, you have to understand what she has accomplished in 2026. It has been a year of breakthroughs, of history-making moments, of a young woman proving that she belongs among the best in the world. Eala started the year ranked 140th in the world. Just over a year earlier, she was an unknown wildcard who had shocked the tennis world at the Miami Open. But 2026 was different. This was the year she would prove that her breakthrough was no fluke. She opened her season at the ASB Classic in Auckland, reaching the semifinals in both singles and doubles. She beat Donna Vekic in the process, a statement victory against a seasoned veteran. Then came the Australian Open, where she drew crowds so large that queues stretched for hundreds of yards through Melbourne Park. She helped set a new attendance record, drawing unprecedented crowds wherever she went. The Middle East swing followed. In Abu Dhabi, she reached the singles quarterfinals and doubles semifinals. In Dubai, she reached the quarterfinals again, helping drive a massive surge in ticket sales. In Doha, she continued her climb up the rankings. Then came Indian Wells, where she reached the round of 16 and set a career-high ranking of number 29.
But it was the grass court season that truly captured the world's imagination. In June, Eala won her second WTA 125 title at the Birmingham Open. She then arrived at the Berlin Open as a wild card and proceeded to do the unthinkable. She beat Donna Vekic in the first round. She stunned world number 2 Elena Rybakina in the round of 16, 7-5, 6-4. She dismantled world number 8 Alina Svitolina in the quarterfinals, 3-6, 6-4. 3 top 20 wins in 4 days, 2 of them top 10, all in straight sets. Eala had become the first Filipina to reach the semifinals of a WTA 500 event. The run pushed her into the top 30 for the first time in her career. She climbed 5 spots to world number 30, and she secured a historic Wimbledon seed, becoming the first Filipino in history to earn a single seed at a Grand Slam tournament. Patrick Mouratoglou was watching all of this, and he was impressed. Patrick Mouratoglou is not a man who throws praise around lightly. He has coached some of the greatest players in tennis history. He has seen talent come and go. He knows what it takes to win at the highest level. And he sees something in Alexandra Eala. Keep shining for your country, Mouratoglou said in a powerful message to the Filipina sensation. The words were simple, but the implications were staggering. Here was a man who had coached the best player in the world, who had won titles alongside the greatest champions in history, and he was sending a personal message to a 21-year-old from the Philippines. What did he see? What did he know? What did everyone else miss? Mouratoglou has been vocal about the future of tennis. He has warned that the sport is in danger of becoming obsolete if it doesn't connect with younger generations. He has called tennis a relic of the past and expressed concern about its lack of appeal to those under 30. But in Eala, Mouratoglou sees the solution. He sees a player who is not just talented, but captivating. A player who draws crowds like no one else. A player who has become the biggest draw in women's tennis, according to former pros. Mouratoglou's message to Eala, "Keep shining for your country," reflects his understanding of what makes her special. It's not just her tennis, it's what she represents. She is carrying the flag of the Philippines into the biggest tennis arenas in the world. She is inspiring a new generation of Filipino athletes to dare to succeed in places where the nation has rarely ventured before. When you watch her play, you see someone who understands the game at a level that most players her age don't. She reads the court, she anticipates, she makes adjustments mid-match. Those are qualities you can't teach. You either have them or you don't, and she has them. The tennis world took notice. When a legend like Mouratoglou speaks, people listen. And what he was saying about Eala was sending shockwaves through the sport. Patrick Mouratoglou's message to Alexandra Eala is not just about her tennis, it's about something bigger. It's about the phenomenon she has become. The Eala effect has transformed her into one of the most compelling figures in the sport. In women's tennis, stardom has traditionally followed trophies, rankings, and Grand Slam tallies. Alexandra Eala is breaking that order. Ranked world number 30, the 21-year-old Filipina is not yet a slam champion, not yet a top 10 fixture, and not yet the most decorated player on tour. Yet wherever she plays, the stands fill first for her matches. Former pros have taken notice. On the Nothing Major podcast, Sam Querrey posed what would have sounded unthinkable a year ago. Is Eala the biggest draw in women's tennis?
Right now, Steve Johnson's answer was blunt. Yes, bigger than Coco Gauff, bigger than Ariana Sabalenka. Tournament insiders describe a familiar pattern. Eala is assigned an outside court early in the week. Ticket demand surges, and by match day, the venue is standing room only. By the next round, she's moved to a show court. The same thing happened at the Australian Open, where queues formed outside the grounds during her opening round match. Much of it traces back to a long underestimated market. The Philippines had never had a women's tennis star operating at this level, and the response had been seismic. Filipino communities abroad turned Eala's matches into cultural gatherings, while fans back home drove massive digital engagement across platforms. Even world number 4, Coco Gauff, acknowledged Eala's massive fan base, saying, "She has huge fan base. She actually would be number 1 probably." Mouratoglou understands this. He has warned that tennis needs to connect with younger audiences and new markets. In Eala, he sees the perfect ambassador, a player who transcends the sport, a player who brings new fans to tennis, a player who makes people care about matches they otherwise wouldn't watch. She's not just a tennis player, she's a movement. And his message, "Keep shining for your country," is a recognition of that. He sees Eala as a beacon of Filipino pride, a player who is not just representing herself, but an entire nation. Patrick Mouratoglou's message to Alexandra Eala, "Keep shining for your country," carries a deeper meaning. It's a recognition of the immense responsibility that Eala carries every time she steps onto the court. Eala is not just playing for herself, she is playing for 110 million Filipinos. She is carrying the hopes and dreams of a nation that has never had a tennis star of her caliber. The weight of that responsibility is not lost on Eala. She has spoken about the pride she feels in representing her country. She has talked about the support she receives from the Filipino community, both at home and abroad. It's more of pride than pressure. It's a blessing to have this support behind me. I've only dreamed of making tennis grow in the Philippines, and now I'm bringing a whole new audience to tennis around the world. The response has been seismic. Filipino communities abroad have turned Eala's matches into cultural gatherings. Fans back home have driven massive digital engagement across platforms. Clips of her matches routinely outperform those of higher-ranked players. Mouratoglou sees this. He understands that Eala's impact goes far beyond her results on the court. She is inspiring a new generation of Filipino athletes. She is changing what Filipino athletes and fans believe is possible. "Keep shining for your country," Mouratoglou said. It's a recognition that Eala is no longer just a promising prospect. She is a star. She is the future of women's tennis.
Eala's rise has been meteoric. In just over a year, she has climbed from outside the top 700 to the brink of the elite. She has beaten the world number 2. She has beaten the world number 8. She has reached the semifinals of a WTA 500 event. She has secured a Wimbledon seed. She has become the highest-ranked tennis player in the history of the Philippines. She has become a symbol of hope for a nation of 110 million people. And she has captured the attention of one of the greatest coaches in tennis history. Mouratoglou's message, "Keep shining for your country," is a validation of everything Eala has achieved. It is a recognition that she is not just a talented player, she is a phenomenon. She is rewriting the rules of the sport. The grass season continues. Eala heads to Wimbledon, where she is seeded number 29. She will face tough competition, but she will also have the support of millions, and she will have the belief of a legend. "If she's good enough for Mouratoglou, she's good enough for me," one fan posted on social media. Another wrote, "Alexandra Eala with Patrick Mouratoglou as her coach. The dream is real." The tennis world has witnessed the emergence of a superstar, a player who doesn't just win matches, a player who fills stadiums, a player who inspires millions, a player who carries the hopes of a nation on her shoulders. And she is just getting started. And that, my friends, is how a 21-year-old from Quezon City captured the attention of one of the greatest coaches in tennis history. Patrick Mouratoglou, the man who coached Serena Williams to 10 Grand Slams, the man who has seen greatness up close for over 2 decades. He saw something in Alexandra Eala. He saw a future champion, and he sent her a powerful message: "Keep shining for your country." The tennis world is stunned, the fans are inspired, and one thing is certain: Alexandra Eala has arrived, and she is just getting